Here's something a lot of people don't like to admit: every dataset has bias. Always. The trick isn't pretending it's not there, it's knowing where it comes from and how to reduce it. Because if you don't, even the most polished report can point you in the wrong direction. In research, bias is like static on a radio. It distorts the signal, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically. And if you're not careful, that distortion becomes your conclusion. Now, we'll never eliminate bias completely, that's impossible. But a good researcher learns how to recognize it, limit it, and stay transparent about the limitations. That honesty is what separates credible insights from shaky ones. Let's start with selection bias. This happens when the people you study don't truly represent the population you're aiming for. For example, imagine trying to study smartphone adoption but only surveying university students. Your results will lean heavily toward younger, urban users and miss entire groups like rural families or older professionals. The data looks clean on the surface, but it's not representative. The fix: use proper sampling. Randomize when you can, balance your quotas, and always check whether your sample reflects the audience you actually care about. Next, response bias. This creeps in when people don't give completely honest or accurate answers. Think about questions on income, health, or politics. Some respondents might give socially acceptable answers instead of the truth. Others may agree with statements just because they sound positive. That's acquiescence bias. To reduce this, keep your wording neutral, avoid leading language, and, here's a big one, ensure anonymity. People are more truthful when they feel safe and unjudged. I've seen response rates improve dramatically just by reassuring people their answers are confidential. Then there's interviewer bias. And yes, even the way you ask a question can shape the answer. Picture an interviewer nodding approvingly when someone gives a certain response, or using a slightly positive tone for one option and a flat tone for another. Even small signals can nudge people in a certain direction. This isn't limited to in-person interviews. The way a survey is worded online can also push people toward one answer. The solution? Training, standardization, and neutrality. Interviewers should keep body language and tone consistent, and written surveys should be carefully tested for neutrality. And finally, interpretation bias. This one comes from us, the researchers. It's when we read too much into results, ignore what we don't like, or twist findings to match expectations. It happens more often than you'd think. For example, cherry-picking results to tell a neat story, or dismissing outliers that actually matter. I've caught myself falling into this trap. It's human nature to look for patterns that confirm what we already believe. The fix: document your analysis steps. Consider alternate explanations. And whenever possible, have another researcher review your work. Transparency is the antidote. So here's the truth: bias is everywhere. You can't erase it completely, but you can manage it. Watch out for selection bias, response bias, interviewer bias, and interpretation bias. Be upfront about the limits of your data. Because credibility doesn't come from pretending your work is flawless, it comes from showing that you've thought critically about its weaknesses and done your best to minimize them. This was another video in the Market Research and AMP Data Insights series. Keep learning, keep shining, and remember, spotting bias early is what makes research truly trustworthy.